Most Canadians think that if they just hit $1 million, their retirement takes care of itself. That's the number everyone's chasing. It's their finish line. But after several years working in this business, working with families across BC and Alberta, I'm going to tell you something most people don't want to hear. That $1 million doesn't guarantee a good retirement. For a lot of people, it's actually the start of a new problem. People do everything right. They save, they invest, they build up 7 figures, and then right when they should finally be able to relax, a different kind of stress shows up. It's not, will I get there? It's, what if I mess this up? What if I take too much? What if I take too little? What if taxes eat more than I expected? What if markets take a hit at the wrong time? When you strip all of that down, it comes to one question. What if I live longer than my money does? Today, I want to tell you about why so many well-off Canadians fall into this retirement trap, and how the families I work with are building plans that actually let them spend their money without fear. So let's be blunt. $1 million isn't what it used to be. Today, it mostly means you're exposed to risks you've never had to manage before. First off is taxes. Most of your savings are probably in RSPs, LIRAs, or corporate structures. The money isn't all yours. It's just a future tax bill in waiting. Second, your income isn't automatic. When you were working, your paycheck just showed up. In retirement, you become your own pension plan. You decide where to pull from, how much to pull, and when. And if you get that wrong, you're not just going to lose money, you're also losing on sleep. Third, markets don't retire when you do. Sequence risk is real. 2 people can earn the same long-term returns. But if one retires in a bad market and starts pulling income at the wrong time, the outcome can be dramatically worse. And finally, there's longevity. A 65-year-old Canadian couple, there's a real chance that one of them lives into their 90s. And this isn't a 10 or 15-year problem anymore. It's a 25 or 30-year problem. So when someone tells me I've got $1 million, I should be fine, simple answer is you're not finished. You're just switching from building the money to not screwing it up. So let me tell you about 2 types of people I meet all the time. First, there's David and Linda. They're in their 60s. They did great. They sold a business. They saved well. Between the RSPs, TFSAs, and non-registered money, they're sitting on just over $1 million. On paper, they've won. In real life, though, they're scared to spend it. They take the minimum from their RIF. They let their TFSA keep growing. They say no to trips. They delay helping their kids. What if we need it later? Well, their portfolio is growing, but their life is just sitting on pause. Then there's someone like Mark. Mark is 68. He retired a few years ago. He was also around the $1 million mark when he stopped working. But he had no real income plan. He just took money out whenever he felt like it. Some years he took too much, some years not enough. He ignored the tax consequence. He took CPP early because that's what everyone else did. And now he's stressed. He watches markets more than he ever did when he was working. He worries every time he has to pull money out. The question in the back of his mind is always the same. Did he already make a mistake? These aren't fringe cases. This is really normal with some of the prospects I meet. It's what happens when people spend 40 years learning how to save and 0 years learning how to turn savings into reliable, tax-efficient retirement income. Now I'm going to tell you about someone I'm going to call Susan. Susan is 61, planning to retire in a couple of years. She and her husband have just over $1 million spread across their RSPs, TFSAs, and non-registered accounts. Instead of asking, do I have enough? She asked a better question. How do I turn this into a paycheck that lasts as long as I do without giving half of it away to taxes? So we stopped thinking in account balances and started thinking in income. Your RSP balance doesn't pay your grocery bill. Your TFSA balance doesn't cover your property taxes. The money they generate, the income does. Instead of starting at a portfolio total, we built a retirement paycheck. We planned what comes from registered money, what comes from non-registered, and how much comes from the TFSAs. And later on, their CPP and OAS fit in as well. And the goal wasn't to chase returns, although we do still want good returns. The real goal was stable, sustainable, tax-aware income. We also use CPP on purpose instead of just automatically taking it at 65. Most Canadians take it at 65 because that's what everyone does. But every year you delay after 65, your payments go up. If you wait until 70, it's almost 40%. It's inflation protected. It's backed by the government for life. Now that's the math answer. It doesn't mean delaying is always right. There are health matters, family situation, survivor benefits. These are all personal decisions. But from a planning mathematical point of view, using your portfolio first, here's the early years, can turn CPP into a much stronger base of income. So we mapped out when to start withdrawals, how to use the TFSA properly, how to manage taxable income to protect OAS, and how to smooth taxes over decades, not just for this particular year. The result was she had more money, more predictable income, and less stress. When you step back, the pattern is simple. Getting to $1 million, that's an accumulation problem. Living on it for 25 or 30 years is a completely different problem. The retirement trap isn't not having enough. It's having enough and not knowing how to use it properly. Families who do this well focus on those three things: turning their portfolio into reliable income, not just watching their balances; using CPP and other benefits on purpose, not by default; and treating taxes as a risk to manage, not just an afterthought. And that's how you stop guessing. It's how you stop guessing every withdrawal. It's how you actually start enjoying the money you spent decades building. If you want, drop a comment. Tell me what worries you most about retirement, taxes, markets, or running out of money. If you want more information about how retirement works in Canada, make sure you're subscribed, because a good retirement isn't about hitting a number. It's about building a system that lets you spend your money without fear.